Good after lunch, everyone. Good after lunch. We're in that funny time period where it feels weird to say morning, feels weird to say afternoon. So good after lunch, or good cake eating time as well. I can't believe how many people have mentioned the cake already. Oh wow, look at that. And we haven't even started yet. For those of you I haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Kyle Bowen. I'm the Director of Education Technology Services here at Penn State. I'm a pretty warm and fuzzy guy, so as you see me milling around today, please feel free to kind of reach out and say hello. I'm excited about today's Open Innovation Challenge, and so much so, let me wax rhapsodic for a few minutes about where do the best ideas come from. You see, some people believe that the best ideas are like light bulbs, right? They come on like lightning. And they come on in a strong way with the flip of a switch in this almost instantaneous moment of eureka, and often in the shower. But we all know it doesn't work quite like that. Ideas are more like building a fire. They're hard work. They're deliberate. They're intentional. And sometimes they flame out. But sometimes, under the right conditions, if we fan it, if we kindle it, encourage it, it can ignite, and it spreads. And it spreads in ways that may seem uncontrollable, with a path of disruption that sometimes we can't even expect. What is wrong with us that sounds appealing? Right? What's wrong with us that we think, yes, sign me up for that? And that's what our challengers have done today. Is that from this was born the Open Innovation Challenge, the idea that the best ideas are in our community, and we want to find them, we want to bring them out. And so what we're going to do today is provide that opportunity for our 6 challengers. They came forward with their idea with nothing more than the assurance that they could share that idea with the rest of the community. So how this works is fairly simple. Each of them will be given 5 minutes. We get a nice clock right up here that'll count that down. And in that time, they will describe for you their idea. Now, there won't be any question and answer, anything like that, but rather, as we go through the remainder of the course of the day, reach out to them, engage, discuss. And at the end, we'll share with you a link where we want you to go and vote. We want you to vote on which of the ideas you think are most impactful. And as a result of that, what we'll do as a team is pair with them a group of people to continue to explore, create, implement, research those ideas, whatever form it takes. Now, because this isn't the Academy Awards, I don't have an orchestra to start playing as time runs out, which would be fantastic. So instead, we'll use a different one that was, kind of inspired based on our keynote this morning in the lo-fi voting methodology. So as you see time run out, when time gets to the 5-second mark, I need everyone's help. Everyone's help. I need you to begin to clap in unison. Right? We can do this. I'm just sure of it. So when you see it hit 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then clap really loud. That way, they have to talk really loud if they want more time, right? That's the goal. Like I said, we will transition from speaker to speaker, and each of our speakers, their presentations are as diverse and as creative as they are. And in fact, we have one that is presenting entirely via video, trying to experiment with different ways of engaging different audiences through sharing these ideas. So with that, we'll get started. Rangan will have you up first. What's that?
Wait, is this on? This has to come on first. Okay.
I'll let you know when to go.
All right.
Are you all ready to go?
I'm set.
And with that, Rangan, the time is yours.
When I started teaching, my students were passive listeners, and I was the active talker. just pouring out. Then in 2001, I adapted a tablet PC. I could write, I could draw, I could write equations. I started using worksheets. I'm sure you remember them from grade school. Great things, right? We used to discuss the problems, and then we worked it out together. So here's an example where it's fully filled in by me, while my students copied on their copy of the worksheet. So continuing on the idea, derivations of theory is very important in engineering. That's what I teach. So worksheets were made for that. I had typed information, clearly there. I had some neat figures that was required. Hey, wait, I need figures that needs to be filled in. Sure, I have that too, if you want that. And finally, these sheets could be filled in, like Dr. Mazur said, discuss with my class, and then complete the derivation. Hey, but I need a take-home message. My students want a take-home message. So I gave them that too, right? So we got everything going now. So what did I do with all of this? I took my passive listeners and I made them into active listeners. Hey, they're busy writing. They're doing things, right? So we got them active. But wait, there's something missing. What's that? What's that? Oh, I know. There's no participation. They're busy doing their own thing. Not like Dr. Mazur said, talking away. There's no teamwork. They're not sharing and developing the ideas. Can I make them participate in the development of my theory? Can I make them do things together on the board simultaneously? The answer to that is yes, 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 we can do it. What's that? The E-collaborative board. That's my idea. What is it? It is this. Remember? Good old board that you can put across the thing and write on it with different colors, different teams. But more, it's electronic and projected to the whole class. Everyone has a tablet, AKA, also known as brainstorming with technology and on steroids. All right, let's go through what is this. It's a shared board. Ideas is a shared board. Students are allowed to write on it when permitted. All of those are examples of where they could write, different colors. There's more brain power. We could have brainstorming. Hey, that's what the E-collaborative board is going to be. Here's an example of how it might end up. So with this tool, I can have different teams. They write in different colors. And they write on the same projected image, or maybe in different projected images. I didn't think the clap was for me, but can correct each other, right? And they can also build on each other's ideas. We could have the image just for themselves or for everybody. It promotes teamwork. You could also make it anonymous. So is there something in the market? Sure, GoToMeeting is there. I am the leader, like Dr. Mazur said. I stand there, I pour the information out, everybody gathers it. GoToMeeting is not that interactive, it's limited. So this helps me better. This is designed for the classroom. It is instructor-led and controlled. Hey, it could also be student-led and controlled. It could be anywhere in the spectrum that you want it to be. I am very pen-based, stylus, so you write with a stylus. It can be extended later on to other fields. I write equations. I need to draw freehand sketches, and so on. So all of that, it really works. So vote for E-collaborative board. It's what you want to see, right? Your vote for me, collaborative board, and we will see it. Everybody gets it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Wow. If there were a award for the most enthusiastic advancement of slides, you, sir, would win. Rungan Nathan, everyone, that was fantastic. Next up, oh, I got my clicker here. Next up, we have Mariana Scanlon. Let me know when you're ready. Time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. Is that on? He is a very tough act to follow, and I think he had a lot of chocolate cake. So my idea is called Your Life is Your Lab. So imagine with me that the places you visit and the places you go and the things you love to do could become an experiment. A few years ago, that may have seemed impossible, but now there are so many devices out there that collect data between the smartphones and Fitbits and the Oculus Rift and the new Apple Watch, and there's new technology every day that collects data. And if you can collect data, you can do an experiment. So the idea behind this project is to create mobile apps that take advantage of devices' existing sensors in order to collect data. So in a sense, students could do lab experiments anywhere in the world. So the requirements on our side would be app development for existing smart devices or to take advantage of current devices' capabilities to collect data and to modify current lab content so that students can analyze the data, whether that data was collected in the lab environment or bungee jumping off a bridge in New Zealand or pushing their child on a swing in the park. The impact can be really great. Students whose life journey takes them away from the college campus could take advantage of this. I had a student who's an Olympic cycling hopeful, and if he makes it, he's going to have to take a year off of school. Adult learners, people in the military, students who are from underprivileged areas where they can't afford a lot of expensive lab equipment, because you know that even if you can't afford lab equipment, every kid has a smartphone. Imagine doing labs, doing things you love, how much more meaningful that would be to a student to be able to tie it to what they really love. So imagine for me that you're on a roller coaster or driving your car and you're doing an acceleration lab at the same time. It could start small, an app to measure displacement or acceleration, or maybe using an iPad to take pictures of biodiversity, and then it grows from there. This is the future, and the possibilities are endless. This video is not playing. Why didn't that video play? Pause my time, please. There is a video.
Is it on this slide?
It's on the next slide. I thought you tested these.
I did test them.
I have my
Hang
flash
on,
drive.
folks.
It's worth the wait, I promise.
What did you call your presentation?
TLT. I have it on my flash drive. Come on. This one. Scan.
We're going to just do a little detour here. Bear with us.
Right there, the black one. Okay, we're ready.
Just try playing that.
And my life is my lab.
No, wait. No, not yet.
There it is.
All right, we're ready? Okay.
And my life is my lab.
My life is my lab. My life is my lab.
My life is my lab.
Thank you. That's it. Vote for me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mariana. So our next presenter is working in his community today and wasn't able to actually physically be here, but in that same spirit of physical presence shouldn't necessarily be a barrier, we thought, well, let's experiment with other ways of kind of delivering this information. And so what Andrew did was he developed a 5-minute video to kind of pitch his idea and share it along with the rest. So with that, this is Andrew Peck and his video.
Hello, my name is Andrew Peck. I'm a senior lecturer and associate director of undergraduate studies for the Department of Psychology at University Park. I'm also the director of the PRISM Research Group. Today I'd like to talk with you about Choose Your Own Adventure style courses. Our story begins with some fantastic news. The results of a 2010 Penn State Pulse survey show that over 92% of students would choose Penn State again if they were starting college today. But all of the news isn't good. In the same survey, fewer than 47% of respondents indicated that they were very satisfied with the quality of teaching, with the quality of courses they took to meet Gen Ed requirements, and with courses in their major area of study. Now, you might not be able to tell which students are the ones who are unsatisfied. Many of our students are hardworking, stay on task, are passionate and proactive, and are engaged. These are the students who are full of hope, who are excited to take advantage of educational opportunities to advance their future plans. However, we also have students who are hardly working, who are often off task, spending class time surfing the net, shopping, or most recently, sending text messages to friends about the color of a dress. Some of our students are passive. They take a TV watching approach to class. Instead of thinking actively, they watch and listen passively. And some of our students are disengaged, both from class material and from the potential benefits of understanding that information. While there are many reasons why students are not motivated to excel academically, one reason could involve the way we design our courses. If you look at a typical syllabus, you'll see that all students are expected to learn the same information in the same sequence, following the same schedule. Essentially, the course is a one-size-fits-all. But students aren't copies of the same person. They have different goals, different interests, different career plans, and it's likely that the mismatch between students' interests and the course content contribute to declines in motivation and disengagement. Research has shown that we can increase self-relevance, motivation, and performance by letting students have some control over course content. But how can we let students customize the course without compromising our educational objectives? A Choose Your Own Adventure style course might be the answer. In a Choose Your Own Adventure book, the reader makes decisions that determine both the content and sequence of events that make up the plot. You can read a Choose Your Own Adventure book multiple times, and if you make different choices, you will encounter different plot twists, and the story will have different endings. For example, in the first Choose Your Own Adventure book published, The Cave of Time, your choices could lead you to an adventure in colonial America, a meeting with President Lincoln, or a lifetime spent with cavemen. In a Choose Your Own Adventure course, students could take custom pathways or sequences through course material. They could follow career-specific threads, choosing, for example, all of the options connected to business, or human services, or biology, or they could let their curiosities and interests lead them. Technologies could track learner footprints through the course and build custom assessments for each learner. Although this approach might be more easily achieved in an online course environment, for resident or hybrid instruction, Classroom lectures could cover foundational material, and learners could choose knowledge branches that stem from that material. Learners' options could be constructed so that key content must be completed, but in learner-controlled sequences. And some of the more intriguing topics could be included only on select pathways to encourage exploration. Many of our students are highly motivated to play online adventure games, or games where their decisions alter the course of the game play. Choose Your Own Adventure style courses could tap into that motivation, increase self-relevancy, and result in more learning and greater satisfaction for our students as they adventure their way through Penn State.
There you go. Very good. Next up, we have Katie Kasouris. Oop, gosh darn it. There we go. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
The time is yours.
So mine is actually similar to the previous presenter in its title, but I didn't know that we had a little bit of overlap. But it's interesting because this idea of the Open Innovation Challenge is similar to my idea of create your own adventure, although I didn't really realize that until I was sitting up here a couple minutes ago and feeling a little bit of the anxiety with the ambiguity that my students feel. But anyway, so this assignment in my class started last year actually at this conference when Daniel Pink was talking about motivation. And he talked about FedEx Fridays, but there was this one study about art students, a controlled study, what judges didn't know there were two art pieces. So one was their own, right? Their own piece they entered, and the other one was a commission piece. And not surprisingly, the judges selected the one that was their own work to be more artistic, more creative, so on and so forth. So I thought, how could I take that idea into my classroom? So I teach in graduate counselor education. And so I thought, well, we have all of these accrediting bodies. We have demands to demonstrate student learning outcomes, right, by different standards and so forth. So in my class, similar to what Andrew had said before, we design our syllabus before we even meet our students. And we say, these are the standards that we have to meet. Here's a rubric tied to an APA-style paper. Here, we're going to do this group project. You can pick your topic, and I give them a little bit of a range of things they can pick. But then I'm still putting them in a little bit of a box. So I thought, I'm going to create this idea for my classes, and it's called Choose Your Own Adventure. And that's what I put in my syllabus. And I don't have any slides because that's all I have in my syllabus is Choose Your Own Adventure. And so, so it's this idea that students know things that I don't know about them, and that I'm trusting them in this process of picking something that they're excited about and tying it back to the counseling profession, and they can express that medium in whichever way they want. And so that's what I say. And so I was so excited about this idea, and I said, okay, so choose your own adventure, and I was thinking people are going to be really excited. And then there was, like our speaker said this morning, chaos. But not in a good way. It was panic, anxiety. What do you mean? What do you want me to know? What do you want me to tell you about it? What do you want me to turn in? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on you and you, depending on what you're interested in, depending on how you express yourself. And so, so it takes a little bit of vulnerability on the professor's part to say, I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know. And as a result, students have created some of the most, I wouldn't even think about this, some creative. So this conference allowed me to be creative, which then allows the students to be creative. So some of the ideas, like right now I'm teaching a testing and counseling class, which is students, one of their least favorite classes. And right now, and it's not finished yet, but the idea is inter-rater reliability. And so back to the concept of food, which our students really like, and is they're creating with the Greek restaurant in town how to come up with an inter-rater reliability scale for food. So what a better way to learn than to eat with your peers and to learn about inter-rater reliability. So I'm not sure quite what that'll look like yet, but we've had students that are interested in working with vets and experiential therapy. So they created this big map that had all of these different aspects and avenues tied to the literature and so forth. We had another student that was really interested in owning her own private practice. And so after going out and interviewing a counselor, she was talking about it, because in class, we have some time in class to also talk about this. because students aren't really sure. So in class, we talk about every couple weeks, what are people thinking about for their choose your own adventure, and that's where ideas are generated. And so students were talking about, I really want to open my own private practice, and I was thinking about how to design the room, and I said, yeah, let's do that. How are you going to do that? And she's like, you mean like I could do that for my project? Like I could turn this in? And I said, yeah, what an amazing thing. And, the fact that I had to give permission to her to be able to express in this medium. So she created this online kind of like simulation of what her counseling practice would look like, looking at the furniture, the rooms, the colors, and so forth, and how that impacts your work with clients. So this will look different depending on what class, what students you have, but it allows them that space to pick what's really important to them and to tie it back to the class in a way that's really meaningful to them. So that's my idea in a nutshell. So thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Ann Clements.
Give me 1 second. What's happening?
That's me. Just let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm not ready.
I'll do this throughout your talk. I hope it's okay.
Oh, we're working. Okay. Everything looks good. No. Thank you. Yeah. Are we good?
Yes, start when you're ready.
All right. Ryan Fuller, an aerospace engineer turned teacher, famously said, "Teaching isn't rocket science, it's harder." Why? Because neutrons don't stay up past their bedtime, and because propulsion systems don't fail to work just because they don't feel like it today, and because chemical compounds, unlike humans, respond to stimuli in the same way. So to solve engineering problems, you use your brain, but solving classroom problems requires your entire being. A person can be extremely competent, work relentlessly, and still fail miserably as a teacher, especially in the first year or two. But what if those failures could occur outside the classroom before teachers even got there instead of with live students? My idea is to build a 3D virtual teaching lab for pre-service teachers and faculty to hone their teaching skills before they're in front of live learners. Modern technology through Oculus Rift and other 3D headsets create very realistic 3D environments. Oculus Rift combined with controllers such as Leap Motion, which doesn't require a glove or any kind of handheld, but instead tracks hand movements in the air, allows for lifelike interaction with a virtual environment. Advances in voice control through programs such as Voice Attack, which is programmable with a simple PC, can allow virtual reality to be controlled by voice. Omnidirectional treadmills and surround sound systems can allow teachers to walk around the virtual classroom or to hear conversations with virtual students from various locations in space. How will this affect teaching? I'd like to give you 5 ways. Number 1, gesture and proximity, which in my field of music education is absolutely crucial. Classroom management. Teachers can experience classroom disruptions and work with virtual students without any negative repercussions for making mistakes. Virtual reality allows for observations to occur without having the distraction of an observer live in the teaching space, which often alters student behavior. And it can allow for that teacher who receives feedback to try and try again in the exact same scenario until they've gotten what they want. Virtual reality allows teachers to experience difficult moral or ethical dilemmas that don't happen frequently in teaching, but when they do, a teacher has to know how to respond, such as when a student confesses to abuse or assault, or when a student is cheating, or when a class begins to erupt with religious or political undertones. All of these can be practiced in virtual reality. And finally, what I believe is the most important and exciting use of virtual reality is the ability to encounter issues of disability and accessibility. Virtual reality allows for teachers to experience the varying abilities of their future students, and they can do this from the teacher's perspective or even from the perspective of students themselves. It's one thing to talk about disability and another thing to experience it. With the click of a button in virtual reality, a teacher can turn a full spectrum classroom into one in which reds and greens look similar, converting it to the view of a student who has color blindness. Audio and lighting levels can be adjusted to imitate how the classroom would appear to those with hearing and vision issues. Even the perspective of the room can be changed to mimic the view from a wheelchair. And just as virtual reality allows the fully able to experience the perspectives of others, it also allows for students with disabilities to maximize their engagement and activity in classes. In this video, you can see a young man here who does not have the physical ability to play chords on the piano. Yet using a FOV headset, he has the ability to play it with the blinking of his eyes and his eye movement and direction. This has opened an entirely new musical world for this student. And this is only one example of what will, in time, be thousands of examples of virtual reality and 3D virtual reality. So let's get on the cutting edge of this. To bring us back to the rocket science theme, not even the sky is the limit in virtual reality. Our only limit is our imagination. A 3D virtual teaching lab will create better teachers, and better teachers make stronger and more empowered students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you. Uh-oh.
All right, I think we have it.
There you go, sir. Next up, we have Sam Richards.
But before you start the clock, because I'm going last, I have to say something. I don't know. This is amazing. Thus far, I would vote for all 5 of you. So it's not easy going last.
So you want all of your votes then distributed amongst them? Then is that
the? Just vote for them.
Yes.
Holy smokes. Okay, I'm ready. Go. In subtle and not so subtle ways, we live our lives imagining that we're very different from other people. And in my world of race, I see this again and again. But I also see that it often takes just a very simple, common, everyday gesture to build those bridges between all of us. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to demonstrate this or talk about it with an example from my life, from back when I was a grad student. And I'm going to need a volunteer. How about Stubbs? How about you? And so, back when I was a graduate student at Rutgers University, have a seat right there, I was teaching a class on social problems, and I had a student in a wheelchair. And we were leaving the classroom, and we came out, and he said, hey, how about can we stop into the bathroom, and we can, he says, I have to go to the bathroom. I said, fine. So we go in, and we pull up, and he said, hey, can you help me? I said, no problem. He had spina bifida, so he couldn't move his arms. And I said, all right. He said, well, can you get my container out from the back of my bag? And I said, sure, no problem. I unzipped the bag. He said, all right. I went, wait a minute. Oh, okay, hang on. I had about 4 seconds between that moment of realization that he doesn't move his arms, to me coming down to help him out, that I was going to do something that I had never done before. Well, I had done it many, many times, but only with myself. And so as I bend down, now we're different. We're living in different worlds. But as I bend down and begin to unzip his zipper, and we're talking about the Mets because he's a big Mets fan, and suddenly I'm looking him in the eyes, and now I got to be real calm because this is the nature of these things, right? Because I want to be cool, and I want to be calm, and I want to make this really natural for him. I don't want him to be uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right. So as I'm unzipping the zipper and we're doing the whole, and then I realize, oh wait, all I got to do is whatever I do to myself. I've been doing tens of thousands of times. So I'm going to shake it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to zip the zipper up, and we're going to do the whole thing. And meanwhile, we're talking, and he's leading me through. He's telling me what to do. Don't get it on my pants. Just be really careful. So we're done. I go over to the urinal. I dump it out. He says, listen, wash it out really well. And so I washed it out really well. No, I didn't take a sip out of it, but I will now. And then we got done, and we left. Okay, I'm done with you, pal. And in that moment, he and I had bonded. We had crossed a line. And when we crossed that line, somehow everything was different between us. Okay, that's not my intervention. My innovation is this. So I want to know, you're my class. I'm giving this. This is a story that I tell in front of, say, 700 students. And it goes on for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But I don't know where you're at. I'm telling stories. I'm engaging you, but I don't really know where you're at. I can do poll everywhere. Or I can do clickers. But it takes me a while with clickers. But what if we had a tool between us where at every moment I could monitor the energy in the room? That we had an app. And you could have that app open on your phone all the time. And every 60 seconds, it would reset. And in those 60s, this is what you would see. My class, let's say. You could have any number of things, but let's just say intellectual engagement. And we could change what the categories are, but let's say these were mine. And you could push, hey, this is really interesting. This story you're telling, or this lesson you're giving, this is really interesting. I like it. Keep going. Or you're losing me. Give me an example. I'm not really digging this, like, whatever. Or it could be like, okay, I'm bored. This isn't touching me. Move on. And you could just keep resetting. And the whole class could reset. And you wouldn't know how everybody else is responding, but you're sort of in your own little world. I could know because I could have a screen up in the front, or I could have it on my phone. Or let's say this one, because I do race relations. And as many of you know, if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know I'm a little bit edgy. So in being edgy, just like this example, I don't find it edgy, but some other people might. And some other people might be uncomfortable. Because when we start talking about these issues, there's always a little bit of discomfort. Discomfort is good. Learning happens on the edge of discomfort. And so maybe we would have this up there. And you could say, yeah, I'm fully engaged. You're not crossing any lines. Good. Hitting that button. And every 60 seconds or 90 seconds that we're resetting, you could do it again. Or you could say, you know what, make this relevant. You're just sort of going off in some direction. I'm not really interested. Or you could say, I'm feeling uncomfortable. And then we move on. And this is what I see. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. We finally got to clap.
All right.
I was looking forward to it. And kudos to all of you for keeping an eye on the clock. And special recognition to Chris Stubbs for playing along. Yes. Did anyone else think that Chris was going to end up wearing that water? Anybody else think we were building towards that? So again, thank you very much to our speakers today. What we have now is a, I'm going to advance some slides, is an opportunity to interact, to discuss, to ask questions of our challengers. Ask them the hard questions about how does this work? How does this all unfold? And then as part of that, vote. Make sure you vote. And at the end of the day, in the final session, at the beginning of the final session, we'll announce our winner. It's kind of that simple. So again, our panelists here today, we have Rungan Nathan. Wave at him, Rungan. Marietta Scanlon, Katie Kosaris, Ann Clements, Sam Richards, and then also joining us via video, Andrew Peck. Thank you very much, everyone. So again, please remember to vote and to engage our challengers and have this kind of deeper discussion around teaching and learning and where ideas come from. Thank you again for your time. Enjoy your next session.